Welcome to Millbridge Speedway, where tonight the D&Q Karting Series brings all 5 divisions to the track. The Yoder Automotive Grand National Series, the Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup Series, the D&Q Dash Series, presented by AutobarnClassicCars.com, the D&Q Pro to Color Collision USAC Series, and of course, the headliner tonight, the D&Q Net Positive Cup Series for the Milltona 50.
Full pit area, full card, and right now, every team in the place still thinks they're smart. That usually lasts until about the second restart.
Usually right around the time the green flag drops and somebody realizes pretty good wasn't actually that good.
And tonight, the points matter in more ways than one. Under the new system, there's 1 bonus point for the pole and 3 bonus points for most positions passed in the race.
That's what I like. Now, you can't just ride around, protect your stuff, and call it a solid night. If you want the points, you'd better go get them.
Exactly. Qualifying matters, charging matters, and if your setup stinks, you're not just losing track position, you're giving away bonus points too.
Let's send it down to pit road, where Eddie has caught up with Robert and Gavin Showalter.
Down here, Robert Showalter and his son Gavin, and these circumstances are extremely interesting to me, at least. I'm sure it is to you guys too. You're going to race here tonight, going to run the Cup race, but not full season. Do you have anything you're going to run full time this year?
Yeah, we still got to build a buggy. I just didn't have time to build a roll cage and get it all ready. So I was like, that Cup car's already sitting there, so I'll just bolt a motor on it and put some tires on it and we'll go. But that's the one he runs on Wednesday nights here at Millbridge with Jeremy. And so figure we bring it here and see what he's got. So he raced box stock for like a year, so he's got a little bit of racing experience, but now he's out here with 30 and 40-year-old men, so I don't know if it's going to be any different or any better than racing with little kids. So as long as the apple don't fall far from the tree and he's not like the Wallace's kids or Carrie Earnhardt.
No comment.
He'll be all right. So
what's it like? You probably learned a lot from your dad, right? He's probably going to beat you up. He's going to give you more of a hard time than any of us can. What have you learned from him, and what are you going to do tonight? How do you feel about it?
He's taught me well. I feel like I'm going to do pretty good. I've done good in the past times I've raced, and we're going to see if we can do good here.
Dude, I get it. There's obviously you're just out here to learn and have fun, right? And then that's what the big deal is. What was the biggest thing you learned from him when you're out here cutting laps the other night?
Just running the track in good lines and,
work on the entry because we were pinching it off, driving straight into the corner. So we learned on him widening the corner up a little bit, and then when we're in traffic racing, he likes to look back over his shoulder to see where I'm at. I was like, quit doing that. Just keep your eyes on the track. So as long as he keeps on 4 wheels tonight and finishes the race, I think he'll be okay.
3 generations of Showalters all here tonight to check out Gavin and Robert. Cut a bunch of laps. He's got them on, dude. That's awesome. I love it. All right, have a good night tonight, guys.
Good perspective there from Robert Showalter, and you can hear the balance and pride in what Gavin is doing, but also an understanding that this sport will make a young driver earn every bit of it.
And that's the right message. Gavin doesn't need to go out there and drive like Robert in race 1. He needs to drive like Gavin, keep learning, and not let that last name talk him into doing too much too early.
Exactly. The equipment may be fast enough, but the biggest step is judgment. If he stays patient, listens, and doesn't try to force the issue, that's how you turn a good opportunity into something real.
Milltona 50 has become one of the signature races of the D&Q Net Positive Cup Series, and part of what makes it special is that this one comes with more than just a checkered flag. The winner gets a ring, and the trophy itself carries real history too. Much like the Indianapolis 500 trophy, every winner of this race is added to it. So when you win the Milltona, you are not just winning one race. You are putting your name onto a piece of D&Q history. It all started with Jason Eford, who won the very first Milltona 50. Back then, this race was run with wide-open clone engines and prep tires, and by all accounts, they were absolutely flying.
And that's part of what makes the history of this race so good. The package has changed, but the race still mattered. In 2018, D&Q moved to the AKRA clone engines, and with that package, Tyson Fries and Jason Denny were the class of the field. They were the guys everybody had to deal with.
Then in 2020, the series went to the Hoosier treaded tires, and that changed the feel of the race again. Different package, different challenge, and that's when Ronnie Shirk delivered one of the biggest surprises this event has ever seen.
Then came another major milestone when Adam Welch became the first driver to win the Milltona 50 twice. After that, names like Chris Bailey and Robert Showalter added themselves to the list, and that's what gives this race its identity now. The big names have won it. The unforgettable moments are tied to it. And every driver who rolls off for this race knows exactly what it means.
That's why this one carries weight. Different rules packages, different tires, different eras, but the same pressure. However you had to do it, you still had to earn it.
That is the history of the Milltona 50, a ring for the winner, a permanent place on the trophy, and a spot in one of the proudest traditions DNQ has built at Millbridge Speedway. Let's go to Eddie, who is down with Carson Dollarhide.
Carson Dollar Menu Dollarhide out here tonight in the garage paddock area, getting ready to go for another season of DNQ. The buggy's out on the big track, so does that spell trouble for everybody else here tonight?
I hope so. If everything goes to plan, it will be. But there's a couple good ones. There's a couple new ones. So hopefully we got a big field and make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. So what? I mean, you've been so close to winning the championship. What do we got to do this year to close it out and finally win a title?
I think not drive like a dipshit early in the year and put it all together at the end.
How is that? How do you do that? Because being a dipshit is pretty common for you. How do we control that?
Man, I don't know. I think being patient and I think just taking whatever I can get every night.
No dipshit tonight. And we got Tyler Young right here. This guy is a legend. This guy is a legend in DNQ racing. You are a champion in this series right here. That's kind of we run every once in a while. How have you been and what have you been up to?
Yeah, just working away. Glad to come out here on a Monday night and watch a little DNQ racing.
A DNQ Hall of Famer, this guy Tyler Young. I don't think the people realize it's like Richard Petty walking through the garage right now.
Well, I don't know about that, but we're going to have some fun. Cheer on DJ and Dollarhide, see what they can do tonight.
Yeah. Richard Petty in the garage and Richard Petty at the bar. I don't think you can get more legendary than this guy right here, a Hall of Famer here in DNQ. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy.
After hearing from Carson Dollarhide, the speed is obvious. Nobody questions that.
No, the question with Carson has never really been speed. It's whether he can rein it in just enough to stop making life harder on himself and everybody around him. And based on history, that may be easier said than done.
Exactly. If he can clean up the decision making, he's dangerous. But if he gets too aggressive and starts driving over his head, then all that speed doesn't help you much.
Mike Hahn is a Smart Kart Notes Rookie of the Year contender in the Pro Color Collision USAC Series. Eddie is with him right before he takes the track.
All right, we got a rookie down here getting ready to make his first start. Michael Hand, what do we think about this? Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, we have no prep, nothing. We're just gonna go for it, have some fun.
Where's your side panel? I thought you would get all the aero done with this thing. You got Scarbs here. Does he account for that in his aero balance?
Yeah, we got the aero balance down and we think, yeah, it'll be all right.
That's a lot of confidence right there from Michael Hand. Look for him to have a strong night.
Another driver to watch tonight is Mike Hand, one of the Smart Kart Notes Rookie of the Year contenders in the USAC Series. He's new to this class, but he has a big asset on his side with Mike Skarbowski calling the shots as crew chief.
And that helps because Hahn joked that he has no clue what to expect tonight, which is probably more honest than what most rookies would tell you. But when you've got somebody like Skarbowski in your corner, you've at least got a chance to shorten that learning curve in a hurry.
Exactly. Mike Skarbowski is way too smart to be hanging around helping these people, but for Hahn, that is a big advantage. If they can keep the night clean and stay out of trouble, this could be a really solid run for a rookie.
Little setup decisions can become big stories in a hurry. So let's head to the tech garage with Larry and talk about one of the words you'll hear all night long, wedge.
Yeah, and when people around DNQ talk about wedge, they're talking about how the cart carries load and how it reacts getting into the corner, through the center, and coming off. With this graphic, you can see one of the ways teams make that adjustment by moving washers on the spindle, changing that stack up or down. It looks simple, and it is simple, but it can make a big difference in how the front of the cart feels. If you miss it one way, the cart can get tight and lazy. Miss it the other way, and now the driver's got something too edgy to trust. On a long race, that matters because the driver needs a cart he can lean on, not one he has to argue with for 50 laps.
Coming up next, the DNQ Dash Series presented by AutoBarnClassicCars.com. Get set to roll And for the first time in a while, that division feels wide open.
With Zach Campalonga gone after 3 straight championships, somebody new has a chance to step up tonight and start building a title run of their own.
And in dash, with small tires all the way around and no stagger, you'd better have mechanical grip and momentum, because if you don't, the field will let you know in a hurry.
The starting lineup for tonight's DNQ Dash Series, presented by Autobarn Classic, Cars.com feature as Alex Lacognata on the pole after the invert and Peyton Hinson to his outside.
Row 2, Roger Diebold and Joel Farlow. Diebold was one of the breakout stories last year, and Farlow is the reigning Dash Series Rookie of the Year.
Row 3, SRI Pole Award winner, Casey Meyer and Dan Rack. Welcome back, Dan.
Row 4, David Hutchins and Michael Millam.
Row 5, James Creek and past Dash champion Mike Contarino.
Row 6, Willen Larson out of Colorado and Alexa Pinkerton.
A little deeper in the field, names like Travis O'Connor, Caleb Carter, Patrick Briady, and Chris Lawson round out tonight's Dash lineup at Millbridge. Tonight's 1ZT's in-cart cameras ride along with Casey Meyer and Alex Lacognata. Meyer is a driver still looking for that breakout run in the Dash Series, and that makes this a big opportunity. And keep an eye on these two tonight. Alex and Casey have had their run-ins before, so there's already a little history built into these in-cart views.
Here we go. Let's kick off the 2026 season with the green flag for the Autobarn Classic Cars Dash Series. As Alex Lacognata started on the pole, the 23 of Peyton Hinson gets to the jump, and this is his first ever race, so we'll see how he does. Looks like he's doing pretty good right now as Joel Farlow is on the outside, last year's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, beginner's luck leading the field right here, but as we move back a little bit, we got a left rear going down the backstretch, and the DNQ season has officially started, ladies and gentlemen.
The 69, not nice this evening, sitting there left rear in the infield as Lacognata is lucky he gets bunched back up. The field bunches back up as we're back in the box, and we are green flag racing again. Hopefully get a better start on the inside as we head into 1.
Hinson took the outside there, and he had the lead as Lacognata pinches him up the racetrack. He's going to take the lead away.
Hinson drives down to the bottom, gets a little bit tight, washes up. Lacognata back out front. He is the TNQ champion, knows what to do with all that clean air as we go on board with the 1CT's in-cart camera. Casey Meyer got a view of this battle for the lead.
Yeah, Autobarn Classics, the Dash is showing us that to the high side is the right side tonight, as everyone tries to dip out the left front into clean air, but can't really make anything happen. But don't tell Contarino that, as he's using up all the right side of the other go-kart on the outside.
Don't look now, but the pole sitter, Casey Meyer, who had to start 5th, is now into the 3rd position and making his way towards the front.
Casey Meyer very fast earlier in the night. He gets to the outside. He's trying to get that draft, keeps the momentum up, because he's going to give Lacognata a shove down the backstretch. He moves into 2nd place. No, he ducks under Lacognata. This is the battle for the lead. Casey Meyer trying to take that top spot away.
They're still 2x2. Meyer with a nose out in front, but they're still locked side by side as we're back on board. 1ZT's in-car camera. Lacognata doing all he can. You'd think the momentum would keep him rolling onto the high side, but Heschel holding his own with 3/4 of a cart out in front.
Oh, wow. Meyer shuts the door on Lacognata. Now, these two have a history. They have had run-ins before in this Dash Series presented by Autobarn Classic Cars. And don't look now, here comes Roger Diebold in that 38 machine. He had a good season last year, was able to get a win, and he also won the Clements Cup.
The Clements Cup, very prestigious in the DNQ series. That's your short track best racer. Right now, battle is for 4th on the racetrack. We go to the speed cam. Look at these guys hauling off of turn number 4 down the front stretch. And we go back to the battle for 2nd place right now. Lacognata starting to fall back a little bit after being out front early.
Yeah, unlike the Republican Party, this racetrack is looking good tonight. Smooth like glass. They're running some really great lap times here. We're still holding up our pole speed here as we're in the feature.
Smoother than the ground after a Tomahawk missile strikes Iran. Peyton Hinson, rookie out here doing a good job tonight, and it's really good to see that 63 car back of Dan Marak. Dan Marak had a battle with cancer, and he is doing really good right now, and he's back out here racing. I don't think it gets better of a story than that one right there.
We love to see success stories on or off the racetrack. Dan Marak, big supporter of DNQ. Love to see him out here, hard racer himself, but not as hard as Mike Connerino racing for 7th place that doesn't pay shit.
We got the field strung out a little bit. I should just say Heschel, the 935, is putting a hurting on the field here in Auto Barn Classics Dash Series racing. He's got about a straightaway in the field. La Canada bringing up the rest as he runs the low line of 1 and 2. And our leader gets into lap track.
That's Casey Meyer in the 935. He is leading this race, not Heschel. It's okay. First race jitters. He just woke up from a nap. Give him a break.
Right.
3 or 4 wide here in the back. La Canada drives Farlow down the racetrack. He is an aggressive driver, and now all that does is steer up the bee's nest. They're all right behind him.
Oh, yeah. If I was La Canada's back bumper, I would not be excited about what's coming because he's got the whole field backed up behind him. He's a moving roadblock as Casey Meyer loves what he's seen in his rear mirror. And we got our 1ZT's 5 to go caution.
5 to go caution presented by 1ZTs, and it's out. Let's see what happens here as Meyer chooses the outside. We'll see if him and La Canada can get going. Hinson makes an illegal move, and if he doesn't give that spot back, he's going to get put to last place. And he will give it back, so he is good to go, but that is an illegal move here in DNQ. As La Canada running Meyer up the racetrack, and we're 4 wide.
We are 4 wide for the podium spot here in the DNQ Dash Series. What a race it is. Connerino up there trying to just bide his time and wait for something bad to happen in front of him. La Canada out in clean air again. He's a DNQ champion. He knows how to get it done here, and he's showing everybody that right now.
Chris Lawson showing into your view as well. That red and white. Oh, no, he gets spun by Hinson.
Oh, big red.
Connerino tested the Hans device on that machine, checking his Apple Watch, making sure that he was, it's probably telling him he was in an event. Are you okay? Wow, what a wreck. Well, here we go again. We're going to take another restart. Here we go. La Canada to the inside, Meyer to the outside. La Canada pulls down on that move, and we go back green.
Meyer with a head of steam trying to get to the outside of La Canada. See if he dives down underneath him here in 3 and 4. Peeks and nose in there, gets to his left rear, trying to pack that air on the quarter panel, gets him tight. Casey Meyer's going to go to the lead. La Canada's going to dive back down underneath him. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Coming out of 4, Casey Meyer takes the win.
His first win. What a race. And you know what? It's good to see Meyer come out on top because I know La Canada's gotten him a bunch of times, but the two saluting each other. Good race.
Yeah, that's good to see him win.
Yeah.
Picking up the win, my man. Can you even describe the last 5 laps? Well, you don't describe the whole race, but describe how you got that win.
I really, I kind of had to use up Nakanata for a little bit, but I really thought I was going to lose it, and then I got around him, and I just tried to sail it from there.
You talk about sailing it. Talk about momentum on the outside of this. This is just such a fascinating watch. How important is it to keep that momentum wound up?
Oh, it's very important. If you don't keep that momentum up, then, I mean, if I hit the bottom, I was going to lose it. But if as you saw, I kept to the top, and I just kept momentum all the way around, and it just felt really fast.
Well, congratulations. Way to kick off the season. Got to be good to kick off the year with a win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to use him up a couple times, and he was way faster. I haven't worked on this thing all winter and just came out here to have fun. Just got to thank my girlfriend, her family, and my buddy Johnny. Everybody that comes out and helps me on this thing. It was a good time. Still has speed, so maybe we'll come back a little stronger next time.
We'll see what happens with it. Nice run, though. Always good to be on the podium, though, to kick off the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Picking up the 3rd spot. Nice job. What's your take on the last few laps of that race?
5 to go is kind of crazy there. Never done it before.
Never done the 5 to go before, but one time you were kind of back in the pack a little bit, got shuffled back out. Has to be rewarding to get back up here for a podium finish.
Yeah, I just got to keep in momentum. Not ever done this before, having to keep going.
So you've never done this before?
No.
And you got a podium finish?
Never raced before.
He's never raced before, and he got a podium finish. I'd say you did pretty good, and you learned about momentum in a hurry. Congratulations.
Yep, thank you.
Wow, how about that? That is impressive, that is for sure. As Peyton Hinson, that is, finishes in the third spot, it's Alex Lacagnata finishing in the second spot, and Casey Meyer over there, his first ever win. He's been doing it for 5 years.
The front row for tonight's Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup feature has All-Star winner Aaron Hodges and Scumbag Racing's Thomas Hesslink.
Row 2, Damian Jenks and Joe Henning.
Row 3, SRI Performance Pole Award winner Anthony Kidwell starts 5th because of the invert alongside Bryce Bailey.
Row 4, James Edwards and Bubba Long.
Row 5 has the last 2 Pro Cup champions, 2024 champion Dustin Dunn and 2025 champion Alex Kirk.
Row 6, Travis Brown returns after time away with Reagan Parent to his outside.
Row 7, Brian Shaw and KC Heschel. And Heschel is a short track ace, looking for a strong run on the big track tonight.
Further back in the field, drivers like Jaden Dahlberg, Ashton Love, Eric Yost, and DJ Powell will try to work their way forward early.
As we ride tonight with the 1ZT's in-cart cameras, keep an eye on Joe Henning and Alex Kirk. 2 very different stories in this Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup field.
For Joe Henning, it's about putting a full night together. He's shown speed, he's been close, but last season consistency kept him from turning potential into a bigger year.
And with Alex Kirk, you're looking at the defending Pro Cup champion from 2025. He also picked up the President's Cup and the Nup Cup last season, and when that team hits the setup, they are tough to deal with.
2 different paths, 2 important stories, and 2 great views. Let's send it up to the booth.
Green flag, we're underway for this Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup Series feature, and Aaron Hodges leads them off. Well, what a run from Thomas Hesslink on the outside.
Hesslink got the momentum up the top. He's going to try to make it work on who's the
Aaron Hodges.
Aaron Hodges.
Just like our Dash Series race on the, we got hopping left rears here in the back of the pack that doesn't pay much at the pay window, but as a kind of comment, just like our Dash Series race, that initial start, the outside was victorious. Hodges falls back to second, Helsink out in front as the field is a hornet's nest back around 4th, 5th, 6th as we're on board 1ZTs with Alex Kirk, old Rib Shack in the 18K.
Yeah, the past champion, and right now the middle of this field looks like a race to the front of the Ayatollah out there, and we're trying to get all to the front, and nobody really wants to lead this thing because then you're just a sitting duck.
Guys, Thomas Hesslink is one of the better early stories in this Pro Cup season. Last year, he broke his leg in a motorcycle accident, but he's healed up, back in the seat, and already running near the front. Scumbag Racing has clearly stepped their program up. Colin Huffner and Hesslink are co-owners, but Thomas does most of the wrenching on these carts, and right now that work is paying off as he leads this Pro Cup feature.
Well, good to check in with Vince Belch once again, and we're seeing Thomas Hesslink lead this field with Aaron Hodges now running them down.
I just got some steam, those tires heated up. He uses all 8 through that turns 1 and 2. Hodges going back to the point, nice and smooth, a little bit of understeer there, slides a little bit through 3 and 4. He goes back to the point, got some clean air, that car's finally come in. We saw him reach down and make a shock adjustment there just before he got to the back bumper of that 7 car. I think he's got that thing dialed in here for the second half of this race.
Yeah, the initial start really favored Helsink up on that higher line, but as the laps have started to click off here in our feature, you can see that lower line that Hodges is running sort of come in and make lap time.
Yeah, don't look now. Here comes Dustin Dunn. He's fresh back from that tire sample, paid his fine for this race, so he's racing for some of that money as well. And he's trying to cross over Hodges there as they head into 1 and 2.
Dustin Dunn definitely got some speed. You wonder why guys like him cheat when they can get it done without cheating. Dustin Dunn goes to the point, a very familiar spot for him in the DNQ series.
Yeah, he's driving tonight to put food back on the table after paying for that fine. He's sick of the Easy Mac as he's running a good line coming off of 3 and 4 there. Put a little bit of distance between him and Hodges trying to run down that checkered flag.
Yeah, you got Dunn out here in the lead, and I think his struggles last year were more in the Darlington and the short track layout, and that really hurt him last year. And then he started running good and got in trouble, but his big track program has always been stout. As we got Alex Kirk. Did he fall out of the seat? Not really sure there, but he was having an issue.
Rib Shack reaches up, pulls that helmet back over to the left, looking like a little bit of taco neck on that 18 car. Rib Shack goes to the inside. We are nowhere near the podium in this 1CT's in-car camera. Right now, he's just fighting to stay on the lead lap.
Oh, we got one flipped over on the front stretch. That is Thomas Heslink.
Previous race
in
leader.
That Yoder Automotive machine.
Does his car say Mr. H?
Yes, it does say Mr. H.
That's
He went for a flip there. I don't know if we have a replay of what happened. Looks like that heat guard is also hit as well, the elbow guard. Let's take a look. Oh, wow.
Oh.
That wall just reached out and grabbed him.
Nice snatch.
He's lucky to be walking away from that one. That could have been painful.
Try to get that wide arc in there, and it just really bit him. Well, put us in the restart zone, the Explicit Designs restart zone. As here we go. Dunn chooses the top on this restart.
You got Dunn on the high side, Hodges on the bottom again. High side is the right side here on these restarts tonight as Hodges has to fight off the rest of the field. Dunn runs away by a couple car lengths. Yeah,
Damian Jenks there, last year's.
Oh,
wow, we had one just ride the wall. I think that was Alex Kirk. Wow.
Did he
that
come
put
back
tire
down?
marks on the wall, and they're still not done yet.
That was a lot of CG really high there for a second. That was, whew, that was almost real big.
Wow. Wow. Well, whoever that was damn impressive. Watch out, here comes Bubba Long there on Alex Kirk. Good to see Alex getting after it, and he's having a tough night so far, but it's still not over as it's Dustin Dunn, Damian Jenks, and I cannot tell who's in third. I want to say it's Anthony Kidwell. Nope. No, that's Moonhead. Moonhead in third position. And there it is. Our 1ZT's 5 to go caution. He snuck up on us. Sneaky there in that 01 machine.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, here we go. We have 5 laps to go. You choosing the top or the bottom here? Looks like Dustin's choosing the top. That gives Moonhead the bottom.
Yeah, I'm choosing the top every time. You know that I like that. Dustin Dunn fires from the top side, trying to get some momentum. Top side's got a bunch of energy. Let's see if he can get it done. Dustin Dunn to the lead. Moonhead's going to be able to slip back up into second place. Normally that top side got a little bit more momentum as Moonhead watches it go by him. 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Moonhead goes from second to sixth in one corner. He's still got the anchor out there. Dustin Dunn loves what he's seeing. He's out there all by his lonesome.
Yeah, the track is really temperamental tonight, the way it wants to reward you. Hodges had sent it down to the inside, passed 2 carts in the exit, but lost all his momentum, ended up losing those spots back. As little Rib Shack is back up to 4th. Hell of a drive by the big boy there in the black and pink number 18.
I was going to say, he was slicing and dicing there on that restart, and I'm actually fairly impressed with that move. He's able to get up to the 4th position as Damian Jenks having a really good night, too. I mean, he's not going to win this race as the white flag is out. Dunn has got the momentum. He's got the lead. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take the win, but a good run for these guys right here. And my goodness, what a night for Dustin Dunn. Welcome back to the series as Rib Shack comes home third. Let's go down and talk to our top 3.
Dustin, career win number 10. How did you do it here in the Pro Cup race tonight?
Well, you just work until 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday and get your stuff ready the first time you've touched it in 6 months. That's how you do it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I would say you must have had a good night of work, though, because the cars seemed to be good. How was the race car? I mean, obviously won, but how did it feel out there?
Really good. When I qualified 9th, I was a little bit worried, but that thing just went straight to the front. It was on rails. I brand new set of tires here this year because I got kicked out last year for a potential tire failure. So got a new set of tires on here, and I thought it was going to wear me down because they're brand new, they're heavy, but it didn't slow me down a bit.
Didn't slow you down. Congratulations. Way to start the season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go. That is our race winner. And I'll tell you what, a second place run, that got a little wild there at the end, but let's talk about outside momentum and how you're able to get up to that second spot.
Yeah, we started the inside. Didn't get off to a great start at the beginning of the race, and then that about 7 to go, I think, I followed Dustin to the outside, and we got a pretty good jump, so I figured we'd just try to get on the 5 to go, and it worked out. Almost did. I had 2 guys get underneath me. Got a little squirrely there, but we made it work.
Damien, you had such a good season last year. How important is it to get off to a good start here this year with a second place finish?
Really good. I mean, I think last year, if I struggled anywhere, it was on the big track. I had pretty good success on Darlington in the short track. So it's good to get off to a second place start. A little bit of an underdog coming out here sometimes, so it feels good.
Feels good for him. And on April 13th, we go to Darlington. On April 27th, we go to the short track. You got to feel good about that coming up.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it.
There we go. Damo over here. You were in the 12th spot. How in the wide world of sports did you get to third?
I don't know, honestly. I think the attrition of the race helped. Honestly, the red flag helped. First of all, hope Thomas is okay. I caught the backside of the flip. It was scary for sure. Main thing, we don't want to see anybody get hurt. I know he's got kids. Everybody's out here got family, so I want everybody to go home in one piece. But no, track is tricky tonight. It's really, really greasy, so we're having to try to find lines. Unfortunately, I have no brakes. Found out midway through, after the second restart, went to come to get in line, put the pedal to kind of stop, and found out I have no brakes. So we don't need them under green, but it was like, okay, well, now I really got to protect. Kart came in. The longer we ran, the better it got. I just checked lap times. Lap 38 was my best lap. So data. Kart looks awesome. Everybody at Mystery Performance is working their tails off. Really, really proud of it. Plus Power, Bill Weidman, LJ Designs, Professional Clutch Works, sponsor the class. Has our clutches, the hardest hitting clutches. If you don't have one, you're missing out. It dragged me around and dragged me to third place finish. Race Electronics, everybody else. Just really happy to start the season off strong. Third place from, I think you said 12th at one point. Really happy to dig back out. And as you see, DNQ's the same. I think we got a bunch of pissed off people in the pit area, but that's the way it goes.
It's opening night, and we're already started. That is Alex Kirk. He finishes in the third spot. Damian Jenks was second.
The front row for tonight's DNQ Pro Color Collision USAC feature has rookie Gavin Showalter on the pole in his first start, with NASCAR veteran Matt Gould to the outside.
Row 2, Mackie Harshaw and Mo Backturnier, the 2024 USAC champion.
Row 3, Carson Dollarhide starts 5th after winning the pole, with John Boy McLaurin to his outside.
Row 4, Alex Kirk and Mickey Root.
Row 5 is a good one. Ethan Holtzbar, son of Matt, makes his debut. And to the outside is the 2025 DNQ USAC champion, Stephen Totches.
Further back, names like Jeff Chichester, Steve Carmian, David Propp, and Russ Morgan round out a tough USAC field tonight.
One of the strongest fields the DNQ USAC Series has ever seen. Established in 2020, the DNQ Pro Color Collision USAC division has carved out its own place in the DNQ Series. These full cage karts rely heavily on big side panels and aero, so drivers have to race with precision. The front tires are exposed, which means this is not a beat and bang division. Passing has to be calculated, clean, and controlled. And tonight, we'll get a perfect look at it with the 1ZT's in-kart cameras. The 1ZT's in-kart camera will belong to Alex Kirk, who just got out of the Pro Cup kart after a top 3 finish and slid right into the USAC ride.
Old Rib Shack is getting a full serving tonight of DNQ racing.
All right, here we go. The Pro Color Collision USAC Series season is underway as Matt Gould and Gavin Showalter lead them down to the green. Like a little bit of a jump there by Matt Gould, and we're going to bring that one back. Can't be doing that. No, no, no. So we'll re-rack them real quick.
This Pro Color Collision USAC Series has grown so much this year. Look at this field.
Gould heads him down again for the green flag. And here we go. We're back underway here for the USAC Series feature. Gavin Showalter on the outside. Robert Showalter's son. And we said there in the pre-race show, just be Gavin. Do not try to drive and be out of control and do something dumb as he almost gets turned by Gould.
Gavin Showtime living up to his old man's name. He's out front, right where he belongs. As we go 3 wide for the second place. Wow, look at this hornet's nest here in the USAC Series. Incredible racing. This cage adds another layer of bravery to these drivers. They think they can get in there and beat and bang, but sometimes they forget they got open wheels on these machines. That's a little bit more dangerous, and we love to see that excitement.
Yeah, that number 1 house cart started on the outside of the second row. Quickly made his way up to second, and he's trying to run down the opening act here. We got 1 down on the infield.
Chidester down there in the infield had a moment there. Moback goes to the inside of Gavin Showalter, and he's going to try to take that position away as they are hopping wheels.
Oh, Moback laid it to the kid. Give him a break, son. Jeez, you're like twice his age. We go on board the 1ZT's in-car camera with Rib Shack, fresh off a podium in the race before this. Rib Shack lining up. He's got some dirty air. Oh, slider thrown on him. He ducks, turns it back down the hill, gets down to the inside. Let's see if he can throw it back the other way in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, they're side by side, and boys, that outside wall is going to jump out at you tonight. You got to be careful coming off of both 4 and 2 here as they get single file. But we're going to have 4th, 5th, and 6th place here as the battles in the racetrack kind of separate here. Although we got a battle for the lead here. Moback under pressure from the 17.
Nakai Harshaw. And we saw him last year really come into his own. He drove that SKE car, and he was really good. And you know what? He's in this 17 car here tonight, and he is hounding Moback right here. Got aero tight there.
Yeah, not making it easy on the old-timer. Moback with a lot of laps around this racetrack as the 02 goes underneath the 05. I have no idea who these drivers are. Whoa!
Oh, no!
Tauge is hit by Gavin Showalter in his debut. John Boy McLaurin got into Tauge's there, and that thing is bent up. That is going to bring out the caution. Tough break for Showalter, tough break for Tauge's. Tauge's night is over. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, Gavin Showtime, nowhere to go. Just happened right in front of him. Tough night for Tauge's. You know, this is the beginning part of the year. He's usually really good at the beginning of the year, and really good at the end of the year. Those summer months typically tough for the Tauge's family. So he was looking for a good run here tonight.
Yeah, you can see here they're side by side. And the 05 just kind of, they just go for the same spot in the racetrack. He hops to right rear, breaks the spindle as the old opening act there. A little Showtime just hits him in the left front. Tough break.
Tough break for Ethan Holzbauer as well. I mean, you see Showalter and Holzbauer, and you think that they're dads. Now you get to see the youth movement coming through DNQ is pretty cool. As we go back green, not really sure what's going on in the back of that field there. But
they're not sure either, Bob.
Wow! Oh, now we've got a Holzbauer and a Showalter on top of each other. Let the kids are learning, man. They're learning. Look at them. All right.
Two bloodlines destined to collide on the racetrack.
That puts us in the Explicit Designs restart zone. Here comes Dollarhide, and earlier today we went through our graphic, and it said, "Don't be a dumbass for Dollarhide." Can he do that this season? We're getting ready for it.
Let's just hope he can make it through the rest of this race without needing any pro color on that machine of his. So right now the battle is for 10th. They are 3 and 4 wide the back of this pack. Pretty crazy racing. Is we got John Boy?
John Boy McLaurin having an issue, and I don't know if that's related to the last wreck that just happened, but that's going to bring out the caution. All right, here we go. Another restart, and look who's up here front. We got Rib Shack up front, man. He's really starting to figure out Millbridge Speedways. Cool to see.
He saves his shit and comes on strong at the end.
He does.
Laps and laps and laps. Just build more and more speed here. He's got more and more confidence. And after a good run from last to third in the previous A main here, he's trying to take this cage car to the front as well.
Back green, and Harshaw gets a heck of a run off the top side. It's Moback, Harshaw, Dollarhide, Kirk, and Gould.
Mobac really making that house cart look good. Timmy and I tried to, couldn't do it. We go on board the 1ZT's in-car camera with Rib Shack right now riding in the 4th place. He's biding his time. You know, he's got a podium in the race before this, trying for the same thing here in the USAC series. A little bit of dirty air, but those tires are still looking nice and fresh.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember on the internet when they said this ghost engine wasn't going to be it, but the size of this field seems to beg to differ. As that's Hershaw battling on the bottom there, I believe, with the house cart there. Got it inside, but just could not get it done as the field continues to circulate here at Millbridge.
Yeah, we got Mobac leading, Richard Tournier, and we got Harshaw just hawking them, man. And you know what? These two are having a heck of a race.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that Harshaw was taking up the back of this field. You know, definitely the most improved. And I'm looking at that number 64, Michael Hand, in his debut. That black cart right there, he's running right where he is supposed to be. Spent a lot of time in the sim, tuning those tires. 5-to-go cautions coming out right now. But that's a really great debut for him. I'm looking for him to make the same moves as Hershaw throughout his career.
Here we go. Our 1ZT's 5-to-go is out. And the explicit oh my goodness.
Oof.
Mr. Labratone will not. That will throw the caution for that. Yeah. He's lucky we did, because we will put people to the back. Please pay attention in the driver's meeting. My goodness.
Ashley Burnett is losing her shit right now. She's in the booth next
we
to
literally
us,
put, like, in the driver's meeting.
Yeah.
In line till you cross the line in the driver's meeting, right? It was said multiple times. Never went through. One in one ear, out the other. So if you're watching these races, make sure you're doing that. Otherwise, you'll finish last. So here we go. We're going to pace the field one more time. Head down. And like you guys said before, this field is just gigantic here in this USAC series.
Healthy cart counts here is Dollarhide. Hopes to hold them off as they approach the Explicit Designs restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing side by side heading into one.
Mobac gets the jump on the top side. He is going to hold serve as Harshaw gets another good run, and Matt Gould's going to sneak to the outside of Dollarhide.
There's a lot of really great bloodline in this, and speaking of that, Alex Kirk goes to the inside. He's trying to get another podium. Little bit of momentum lost by that bottom line, but Becky Harshaw trying to take that top spot away from the house cart Mobac. Harshaw with a big run down the inside. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Mobac powers back on the outside.
It doesn't seem there's quite enough grip. The boys need that banking on the high side to hold these cage carts with higher CG up onto the racetrack. Rib Shack losing a couple positions. Gould getting to the outside of that third place cart. Dollarhide as the top two start to run away.
It's down to the last lap. Harshaw, can he make the move here on Mobac?
Harshaw with a run to the outside, looks to the inside. Can he make it stick? Oh, bounces off of Harshaw, takes himself out. Mobac takes the checkers here.
As he led that, I think he led a bulk of the race, but it wasn't, he never got a big advantage. Mobac, just described the racing between you and Mackay there as you guys raced for the win.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mackay, he might have been a little better than me there at the end, but just being up top there, it was hard for him to get a run down low, and they kept trying to get me there on the restarts by taking off early, but we luckily got around it and got it figured out and ended up here in victory lane tonight.
How tough is it to stay disciplined with that momentum on the high side, and also you have a little lap traffic in the middle of it? How difficult is it to stay disciplined like that?
It definitely makes it interesting, especially sometimes the lap traffic, because sometimes you got to go low, right? You don't want to, but just it's all part of it. Just adds a little more excitement for you, right?
A little more excitement, that's for sure. Got to be good to kick the year off in victory lane as well.
Yeah, not too bad. We didn't get the win last Wednesday there. Dick got us, but we figured we'd come out in DNQ tonight and see if we could at least get one, leave his at home. So not too bad.
Not too bad. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Mobac Tournier gets a second. He gets the win. He finished second, running in the third spot. Ends up in a second spot. Carson, what more did you need over the course of that race? I know you're starting down on the low side, but what more did you need to kind of keep up with that lead duo?
I didn't have none for Mobac, but I got beat by a veteran, so it's okay. I think we needed to be a little tighter. I think I was sideways. I even fucking spun out over there, but all in all, it was fun. I had a good time, and I'm glad I could get beat by Mobac again.
You're going to get beat by someone. That's one of the best. Congratulations. Great start to the season, though.
Thank you.
Carson, how about that? Just kind of describe the way the race looks like. You one of those nights where you had a top 5 or top 6 car and brought it home third.
Yeah, well, I'm a long ways away from my wheelhouse, and this is a lot of fun, and I love racing, and I get to do it with my dad and my buddies, and it's fun. But yeah, I had a good cart. Just needed to be a little bit better. I think the damage off the back stretch hurt me a little bit, but I was able to get going well and drive back to third.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary over there in the back stretch. You wrestled the car back under control. What happened over there?
I ran out of room. Ran out of real estate.
Ran out of real estate. Nice job. Good to see you out here on the podium.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Matt Gould, of course, Nice Motorsports mechanic. Phil Gould, his dad, one of the crew chiefs over there, joining him here in the podium finish. Second spot is Carson Dollarhide, and Mobac Turnier does it again. Picks up the win here in the Pro Color Collision USAC division.
The front row for tonight's Yoder Automotive Grand National Series feature has Ben Murphy in the Beef Tips Motorsports machine. Still looking for that first win. And Coleman Dollarhide to the outside.
Row 2, Carson Dollarhide and Bubba.
Row 3, SRI Performance Pole Award winner Aaron Hodges starts 5th after the invert, with Colin Hoffner to his outside.
Row 4, Will Monroe and Isaac Love.
Row 5, Alex Lacagnata and Joey Smith.
A little deeper in the field, Carl Hay, last season's Rookie of the Year, is another name to watch, as well as Joel Farlow making his rookie start in the Grand National Series.
Established in 2014, the Yoder Automotive Grand National Series has long been one of the foundation divisions of DNQ. Built around Predator engines and Hoosier tires, this class has always brought strong fields, tough competition, and plenty of entries from drivers trying to climb the ladder at Millbridge. The 1ZT's in kart camera belongs to Isaac Love. We will see if he gets any through this tough field tonight.
Highly doubtful these guys are out of hand.
Green flag is out, and we are underway for the Yoder Automotive season opener as Ben Murphy leads the field.
Ben Murphy, that Beef Tips machine, back out front. He has had quite the career in DNQ. He's been out front at times. He's been way in the back at times. Looks like he's got his shit together here for the very first race. He's back out front. Great to see the Beef Tips crew out here leading some laps.
Gosh.
That was
a little bit back there. Lacagnata had set it on the inside and ran the whole field at the racetrack. I thought they were going to wad up the whole thing as Dollarhide to the inside of Ben Murphy trying to make it stick. Murphy holding his own on the outside.
Yeah, Ben Murphy, I felt bad. I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. They were like a lap away from winning the race, and a piece of lead flew out on the track. We had to go red, and he lost it on the restart. So he's been there before, just hadn't been able to close it.
Yeah, it really just depends on how many Coors Lights is flowing through that cab. Looks like they got just the right amount tonight. Dollarhide goes to the point. Very familiar place for that family.
The track remains slick tonight off of the corners here as we're on board with Isaac Love. You can see your side-by-side racing Lacagnata on the outside. He's going to have some momentum, but that cart on the inside there, the yellow machine, gives him a little bit of room, the green machine, I should say, and a very gentlemanly pass there on the outside for Lacagnata.
Yeah, Joey Smith there making his debut, and here comes Colin Hoffner and Bubba Moore. Bubba Moore looks like a member of the Taliban out there. He's swatting flies left and right, hitting side panels, a little bit out of control, but he's new to DNQ, making his first start.
Glad to have him out here.
Sure.
That's Mike, Joy, and Kevin were talking about that as we kicked it off, that this is the kind of the starter class, the feeder for the series in DNQ where names come to be made, and you're going to trade some paint, you're going to mess up a couple of brand new wraps here first race of the season with the rookies out there in this class.
Yeah, and I feel like if this group could get some funding, their next level's Cup, right? And that's what this series is about, or you could just stay in here forever. So it's their choice, as we've got Colin Hoffner, Bubba Moore, and Ben Murphy. I mean, I don't think Bubba Moore's kart's going to last much longer if he keeps beating off everybody here. So, going to have marks all down the side of it.
A couple shots up the face there, and as we go back to the leader cam, as Goose pulling off there, we got one retiring. Yeah, driver fatigue on that machine. Look at this camera down the front stretch. These cars are approaching 80, 90 miles an hour down the front stretch. Incredible speed.
Yep.
Remind me of the class sponsor one more time.
This is Yoder Automotive. Yoder
That's
Automotive.
Right.
Yep.
And it's on the 7 card of Colin Hoffner as well. He's also sponsored by them.
Yeah.
Right now we got Coleman Dollarhide, the old man out here out front, followed by Aaron Hodges and Colin Hoffner. And you know what? These guys who are towards the front of the field, they're not like super light drivers. Like these guys could run Pro Cup too. They're that big, so must be in the track tonight.
He's definitely got that thing dialed in and leading the train. He is absolutely chugging down the backstretch. Where did that thing go?
Everyone's a little on edge. They're not rolling a ton of speed through the middle here. They're just trying to make sure the car's pointed so they can get a good drive off and hold some momentum without scrubbing too much speed. A lot of times you'll see them really like lean over on the right side of that go-kart and get some fight. But it's not really in there tonight. They're being light. They're being delicate. It's a little slick out there, it seems like.
Yeah, this is a great prep track here by Jeremy Burdett. The bottom's a little bit more wet than the top, so you see as tonight they're going to migrate a little bit lower or way higher. And there's Isaac Love, who is carrying one of our in-car cameras there in the 8 machine. And Teresa's backed off of that number layout, so now it's Dale Jr. that's going to come after him. So, top 5, Gooch to Gooch here is, I think you just get in the train here, Jay-Z, and ride. Is that what these guys are doing?
Yeah, I think Hoffman's being smart there in the 19 or something with an H. Hodges, there we go. Yeah, he's biding his time. He's getting pressure from that Yoder 7 there on the inside, but I think he's doing the right thing. Wait till halfway. Wait till that 5 to go, and this field gets bunched up anyways. Speak of the devil, here it is. Our 1ZT's 5 to go.
We'll see if Colin Hefner can do something here. That 7 machine, he was pretty fast as well.
Yeah, Hoffner in the Yoder Automotive and Horse and Buggy repair car. Would love to get a win for the title sponsor of this series. He's starting on the inside of the front row. Let's see if he can make it stick. Coleman Dollarhide on the outside, got a little bit of momentum, got some energy on the outside. Big shove coming. Hefner trying to look for a little bit of help from Ben Murphy down low. Murphy gets tight, washes up. He's going to try to sneak in that high side while he still can.
I was surprised Coleman was all over his door on that restart, and he didn't get to the high side, and now Hefner falling back after Bubba Moore. Ben Murphy's around. Oh, no. 75 of Chidester around as well in that accident. The one cart. That is a tough day for Ben Murphy. Things were going so well. It looked like he was going to have a good night. Let's see what happened.
Just tagged in the tail like it's 2 a.m. at a college party.
I think he tried to cut down the racetrack to make a pass, and he thought he was clear, and Matt Murphy was there.
Matt Murphy wasn't lifting come hell or high water, and Ben Murphy just was in the way there at that point.
That's Murphy on Murphy violence right there.
That is.
Sure is.
All right, Hefner on the inside. We've got Coleman Dollarhide on the outside. Carson hit the wall on that last ring. He can go back green.
Top running with a little bit more energy than the bottom, just like the last restart. Yoder Automotive Horse and Buggy repair car finally falls up into second place. Looks like he's going to get a podium here tonight if he can hang on to it.
Hodges got put in the wall there pretty good, but the top 3 starting to scamper away here.
Isaac Love there in the number 8 shows up as a white flag is out.
Isaac Love might end up looking pretty here as the top 2 beat side by side. The Yoder 7 with Dollarhide says it to the inside. 2 go up the racetrack. We got the machine of Isaac Love on the bottom.
3 wide. It's Atlanta all over again, and Colin Hefner gets his
Can you
first
even describe
DNQ
what just
win.
happened to you?
Man, I really thought that was over on the first 5 to go there. Geez, I thought we were done in Pro Cup when Thomas rolled this thing. Yeah, I'm just speechless.
No doubt about it, okay? You had one of the few cars that could run the inside, a little bit on the inside of the raceway. Is that something you worked on, or what was the deal with that?
No, to be quite honest with you, I favored the top every time that we race here.
I just felt like every time that we were doubling up there and the top two is taking the top, I have no choice but to take the bottom. And I was lucky enough to make it work once or twice. But, yeah, no, it's definitely the disadvantage. But sometimes the cards fall in your favor.
How much fun is it to come out here with the Scumbag Racing team and get all the celebrating with all your buddies here?
Yeah, geez, it's incredible. I mean, from what just started as a couple of guys at work wanting to just go and have fun again, it's blossomed into something incredible. Thomas is incredible to work with on this kart. Carl's been there since the start. Austin Konetsky's been there. Max just came down from Connecticut and he's trying to get into. We have Joe Lewin now running for his first time. Mike McAndrews. Gage still comes out. But, I mean, we have Yoder Automotive. They came on this year both for us and then also for this entire series, which is truly incredible. RJ's Home Improvements also came in. Jordan Caskey has been making stuff for us as well, just trying to find little bits and pieces here. It's emotional, man. This past offseason, I didn't know what I was going to be able to do as far as racing goes again. The week before the 100-lapper, I lost my dad, and so we were able to come together and put our heads together, and we actually were able to make this kart in the same likeness as his mini modified from Islip Speedway. So it means the world to be able to come out here, and he's with me too every day. So,
congratulations! What a story!
Thank you, sir.
I'm telling you, Cullen Hefner.
Jeff, thank you.
Cullen Hefner picking up the win here and an emotional time in. There we go. I'm telling you, I'm glad I got out of that mess. I had a hunch out wild and physical at the end. Just kind of tell us how you ended up in that number 2 spot.
I was just a little too free. I was fighting it the whole run. I just needed a little bit more, but we were good. Second place, I'll take it. Good points tonight, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, talk about getting off to a good start for the season, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to capitalize every week and make the best out of every situation that you can. So that's what we're going to do.
There we go. Coleman Dollarhide picks up the second grind, but you grounded out to a third-place finish. How did you get up there?
I have no idea. I know last year me and my dad came out here and really didn't give it too much thought and just brought a go-kart out here, put a motor on it and tires, and we were terrible. And then we started talking to some go-kart people. I got to thank Mark Mode. He helped us out a lot, picked us up a lot, and we still need to pick up a little bit of time in qualifying, but for the race, I'm more than happy.
No, you should be. Congratulations. Great start to the season.
Thank you.
Isaac Love down here. His dad over here filming it. How about that? Man, Isaac Love picks up a third-place run. Coleman Dollarhide is second. And, wow, Cullen Hefner. That's what it's all about. Picks up the win here in the Yoder Automotive Busch Series, the 25-lapper here tonight. Net Positive Pool Services. Cup Series headliner here tonight. This is the 12th run of this race. When we look at the history of it, back in 2015 it was Jason Efford picking up the win. Jim Nye, the Hall of Famer, won it in 2016. Steve Padula won it in 2017. Jason Denny was the winner in 2018. Tyson Fries picked up the win in 2019. Ronnie Shirk was the winner in 2020. Adam Welch.
As the drivers gather for the class photo ahead of tonight's Milltona 50, this is where you really feel what this race means in the DNQ Net Positive Cup Series. The big track, the longer distance, the bragging rights, and a winner's list that has some real weight to it. This is one of those races where if you win it, people remember. If you don't, well, at least you got a nice picture. From Jason Efford, Tim Nye, Steve Padula, Jason Denny, Tyson Fries, Ronnie Shirk, Adam Welch twice, Charlie Kingen, Chris Bailey, and Robert Showalter last year. That's a serious list of names, and every one of them found a different way to get it done.
And Mike, the one that still jumps off that list is Ronnie Shirk in 2020. That was the Trevor Bayne moment of DNQ. One of those nights where a guy hit everything just right, shocked a few people, and wrote himself into series history. That's the beauty of this race. Usually the big names are there, but every once in a while the Milltona 50 decides to act up and hand somebody the biggest night of their life.
And this race always asks for a little more physically than a normal feature does.
Oh yeah. Around here we say you've got to stay in the seat, and that means more than just keeping it pointed straight. You've got to be in shape. You've got to stay sharp. You've got to keep your neck up, your arms under you, and your brain from leaking out your ears by lap 42. This race will expose taco neck, arm pump, bad posture, bad life decisions, all of it.
A bad setup might look smart for 5 laps. By lap 25, it starts telling on you. By lap 40, the whole crew is suddenly very quiet. Time for picks. I'll go with Jeremy Murphy. This feels like the kind of race where a rising driver becomes a real headline.
I'm taking Jimmy Allen Jr. He got the Nup Cup and Clements Cup last year. If he wants that favorite label, this is where he earns it. And if not, we're all going to spend the next week talking about it.
I'll take Robert Showalter. I know he's not full-time. I know everybody wants the new era. But until somebody actually takes one of these big races away from him, I'm not getting cute.
History behind it, pressure all over it, and another chapter ready to be written. The drivers are introduced, the field is nearly set, and the Milltona 50 is coming up next from Millbridge Speedway. The front row for tonight's Milltona 50 has 2024 Milltona winner Chris Bailey on the inside, with Mike Contarino to the outside.
Row 2, rookie Zach Campolonga in the Hot Shots machine, and the defending Milltona 50 winner and defending Cup champion Robert Showalter.
Row 3, former IROC champion Matt Holzbar and 2025 Cup Rookie of the Year, Jeremy Murphy.
Row 4, 2025, Nup and Clements Cup, champion Jimmy Allen Jr. and James Edwards.
Row 5, Steve Sokol and
well,
Austin Allen.
The
Row
Milltona
6,
50
Thomas
getting ready to
Markham
kick
and
off.
Damian Musseter.
Chris
Row
Bailey
7,
on the front
Bentley
row.
Caudle and Patrick
And
Field.
Mike Contarino as
Row
we go
8,
green.
Stephen Herring
50 laps
and
tonight.
Curtis
Got to keep the
Markham.
taco
Row
neck under
9,
control, boys.
Dean Wyrick and
Chris
Richard
Bailey
Reed.
always
And
fast
rolling
in
from
the
row
DNQ
10,
series,
Stephen
except
Touches.
for right
Tonight's
now.
one
He went
ZT's
backwards
in-car
and
cameras
early.
ride along with
Looked
Jeremy
like he
Murphy and
lifted
Jimmy
down the
Allen Jr.
backstretch. Just
Murphy
beat
comes
the
in as the
spot.
2025 Cup Rookie
Chris
of the
Bailey,
Year.
he's a wily
And this
old
is the
veteran.
kind of
You
race
gotta
where a
wonder,
young
is he
contender can
saving
take
tires this
another
early?
big step. And with Jimmy Allen Jr.,
Yeah, speaking of experience,
you're
my
looking at
really
a driver
favorite
who
tonight
won
is
the
gonna be
Nup Cup
Holzbauer. He's got
and the Clements Cup
tons
last
and tons
season,
and tons of
and a lot
laps
of people
of
believe he
history
needs
of
a night
DNQ
like this
here
to strengthen
at
his
Millbridge.
case as one of the
Expecting
favorites in the
Trek
DNQ
is
Net
running more
Positive Cup
Bobby
Series.
Showtime familiar face at the front. The 5 car back to P1.
Holzbauer might have the
Zach
laps, but I
Campolonga
don't
making
know if
his
he has
rookie
the stamina.
campaign here in the Cup Series. He's dominated everywhere. Does he dominate here in the Cup Series eventually? That's the real question.
Jimmy Allen Jr. definitely got some wins here in the Cup Series. He's beaten the doors off a little bit early, guys. There's 45 laps left in this race. You got to be there at the end. You can lose it now, but you can't win it now.
He's getting that run from the high side, man. He is just tomahawking his way down the racetrack. Running that high line, just trying to find the moisture. And Showalter's up there as well, the past champion. And Mike Contarino having a good run here tonight.
It's a net positive night for Contarino so far, keeping that pool nice and clean out there in that clean air. Top 3 starting to pull away, get a little distance in the rest of the field. We focus in on the mean one machine here. Good looking go-kart on the surface tonight.
James Edwards out here again. He's running Cup in this race here. As we see Campolonia and that Hot Shots machine, they came on board to sponsor him this year. Go check out Hot Shots in Mooresville. They support DNQ. You should go support them and check it out. We've had some good times there, boys. I know that from back in the day.
Oh, I don't remember.
Quite the bill.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. It's a good play. I mean, they got some decent food. Oh, no, we've got a mechanical issue. Robert Showalter, he's pulling down to the inside of the racetrack.
That was our race leader right there, pulling off. Unfortunate night. That's what happens when you check your shit over a case of Busch Light. Pulling to the infield, that hands the reins over to Contarino.
Mike Contarino, he's a good driver, man. He just, the full-time efforts for him are tough, but, dude, he can pull out a win at any point in time.
Yeah, what if somebody like him, who's raced a million DNQ races, can knock down the biggest race of the year here right off the bat at the beginning of the season? What's that do to the momentum and the strategy and even like the seat availability for somebody like Contarino?
I don't know if you're Showalter, you have to audit your program and say maybe we need this guy in a kart all the time. And if the funds come available and you got the points lead, anything can happen.
his Jamie McMurray hero arc could be loading right now, where he just wins the crown jewels and it keeps him in a quality ride for the rest of his career, you know?
Absolutely. And go on board with Jimmy Allen Jr. in the 1ZT's in-car camera, and he is up here selling some T-shirts.
Yeah, some of these guys, it makes
Back
you
at
wonder,
Millbridge
like,
Speedway,
now
lap
there's
18 of the Milltona 50.
20 laps
and the story
down,
has
you know,
changed
are
in a
these
hurry.
guys starting to run a
Mike
little bit
Contarino
harder,
leads
take
it,
a
but
little
one of the
bit
biggest
bigger
names in the
risks?
building,
Let's
Robert
listen into the
Showalter,
DRN
has had a mechanical
broadcast
problem,
of
a
the
rare
Milltona
sight
50.
for that
We'll take a
team,
step away
and he
to
has
listen
returned
to
to the
those guys.
racetrack now a few laps down. Up front, it is Contarino showing the way. Chris Bailey running second, and Matt Holzbar in third, and Eli, that third-place card is getting better by the lap.
It really is. Barney Holzbar did not fire off the way he wanted to, but now that machine is starting to come to life. And this is a fascinating story of former IROC champion, a driver coming back after a long time away, chasing a win he has not had in 10 years. There is a lot of rust to knock off. He got his feet wet last year running here and there, but right now he looks more and more like a man who remembers exactly how to do this.
And in front of him is no easy target. Chris Bailey, the 2024 champion, is back, and Bailey is one of those drivers who does not give you much for free. If Holzbar wants that second spot, he is going to have to go take it.
Down the front straightaway they come. Contarino out front by 3 kart lengths. Bailey rides second. Here comes Holzbauer. Closing the gap, looks lower, entering turn number 1, dives to the inside of Bailey, draws even at the left rear corner panel. Bailey carries the momentum on the outside lane, and Holzbar cannot complete the pass. He'll have to tuck back in line in third.
That was a good, clean shot right there. Holzbar showed him the nose, made Bailey defend, and that's the first sign that second place is about to get awfully busy.
Meanwhile, Contarino's got trouble on the horizon. 4 cockroaches up ahead, 4 slower carts spread across his windshield, and on this big track that can get complicated in a hurry.
Contarino now closes on the tail end of traffic, chooses the middle lane entering turn 3. Bailey and Holzbar continue to battle behind him, and caution is out, caution on the speedway. Jeremy Murphy has stepped on his dick and hit the berm, and that will slow the field.
Let's take a look at that instant replay here at Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Must be a patch of NDF down there in the corner, because he definitely hit it.
What's he looking at?
I don't know. I think that was all by himself. That's what I thought. Let's have a look here. I don't know, man. There it is.
I mean, we were on board
Taco
for that,
neck or
like,
driver fatigue. I'm not sure which.
I mean, I totally get looking at the apex of the corner where you're going to go, but I mean, you were on the highline, dude.
Could have been taco neck. Swiss decides to restart zone as we go back green, and we'll see if Contarino can hold off Bailey.
Bailey gets a
Oh, look
good
now,
run down the
Tauges is
inside,
up there.
pinches him. Bailey to the top spot. Familiar place for him. We know that he can get it done. I'd hate to be the other guys who just gave him some clean air.
That higher entry in 1 or 2 is really getting the job done here as our leader scrubs off a little bit of momentum. The pack's starting to swallow him. Is that Campolonia in the orange helmet that is chasing him down?
Yeah, Zach Campolonia right there, right behind Contarino. And look at that, Matt Holzbauer has showed up.
That net positive ride's got some speed this evening. As he's down on the bottom, gets that left front down to the berm. One of the few drivers that can maintain the momentum on the inside of 2 is Holzbauer here this evening with a good run for the fans.
Run many races against Holzbauer. He is a tough competitor. Man, that extra weight just makes it stick down the bottom. You know, I bet he was really happy to see that caution, was huffing and puffing a little bit. He goes to the point now, able to take a drink, get back in the game, and I think he can have the stamina to make it the rest of the way.
Austin Allen just threw a hell of a slide there on Steve Tauges. But here it comes, Holzbauer to the front. Contarino. He's got that damage from those cockroaches earlier. It's flapping up, creating a bunch of drag. Holzbauer to the lead and stretching his legs.
Campolonia almost tagged the wall there. Contarino gave him just enough room as he is getting thrown to the back of the pack here. No one showing respect or love for
What a
Contarino.
slider from Jimmy Allen. That was wild. My goodness. These guys are throwing sliders left and right on here. It's a good night to watch this race.
Yeah, right now, if you're Chris Bailey, you're just trying to make it back to where you belong.
Man, these Jimmy Allen's running lines making me think it's the no limit room here this evening.
Look at that
He
run.
was running off the top side. He absolutely clears Connerino. We take a look back here at 6th and 7th.
That is why, I mean, I love watching these guys rip the top like that. The run, he gets a case of the runs, and they just clearing out, dude. Gone. See you later. That's got to be frustrating around the bottom.
Holzbauer got this thing hooked up right now. That thing is nice and tidy. Right through the middle, looking like Lance Deweese or Donnie Schatz right now. Out there just stretching his legs, loving what he's seeing behind him. Nothing in his rearview mirror, nothing out front. His spotter, not a word on the radio.
Jay-Z, as Connerino has an issue, he's going to pull off the racetrack. Jay-Z, what I'm seeing here is a lot of comers and goers. We're seeing mechanical failures left and right. Is it an air pressure thing? Is it cycles? Like, what are we seeing here tonight? This is wild.
I think it's cycles. I think the track, the way it came in, just caught drivers off guard. Started off really low around the bottom, and as every race went out there, the fast line moved up higher and higher as we're on board with Jimmy Allen Jr., who's been one of the guys showing the drivers how to sell them T-shirts at the top. You can see just a little bit of counter steering that go-kart, letting that right rear stick out, letting the kart be mechanically free, and using the air to hit the right side of that go-kart and straighten it out here. Running that Harry Gant line around the top of Millbridge. I think it's just the way the pressures have come up, the temperatures have settled down here later in the evening, and that track has widened right out.
Holzbauer in the lead here as the Ukraine flag is flying for the lap traffic. We've got an air cleaner chilling out there on the racetrack, but it's not going to stop us here as, Holzbauer just digging. He gets to that high line up here. If he's going to run it again, he will not because of traffic. But my goodness, that thing is just barely turning right. That's how you know you got it dialed.
Yeah, he can run anywhere on the track tonight as we get our 1s and 2s 5 to go caution. Really important for that thing to be tuned in here at the end, and Holzbauer did that with his setup.
All right, now he has to survive this 5 to go. Let's see if he can do it. Zach Campoloni on the outside. Talges, Jimmy Allen, Austin Allen, and Chris Bailey here in your top 3 rows as we go back green.
Holzbauer out to the big lead out front, but wait, here comes momentum on the top side, runs right in the back bumper. Holzbauer gets that shot, says thank you very much. I'm going to go and stretch my legs out here with nobody in front.
A hot shot from Zach Campoloni, pun intended, and we're seeing that the top side is just getting some hellacious runs, giving that guy a shot, as Allen's going to go to the inside of these guys and try to take the spot away.
Jimmy Allen just throwing it in there on the bottom of 1 and 2. Could not make a stick, loses his position to the 41 on the bottom. But Jimmy Allen still running that high side, getting a great run down the front straightaway.
And I got to commend these guys on the bottom. They're at least looking over their shoulder waiting for the run. So that's good. It's all Matt Holzbauer here. As a white flag is out, can he get it done?
Doctor's jacket, 2 more turns for Matt Holzbauer. Takes a quick look over his shoulder. Nothing behind him. Holzbauer's going to take it home. Milltona 50 winner, Matt Holzbauer.
10 years of trying, and he finally gets it done. Holzbauer going to win the Milltona 50. Steve Post is down in victory lane to talk to him.
That's cool. Good man.
He had that damn thing dialed.
Yeah.
You saved the best for last. Did the car get better, or just how did that race unfold? Because the second half of that one, you seemed to have a pretty stout piece.
So I gambled because it was 50 laps and started out really low air, and it was a struggle. But I was like, it's going to come to me because I put it on the pole. And it did. It came to me, and it was a rocket. We really pushed the aero department this year on the off season, and we got some wickers on here to cut the drag down the straightaway, so it's working out really well for us.
Boy, I'll tell you, talk about running up at the front of the field. You were running there. We had mechanical problems. This 50 laps is a real grind for that. You had some awful good cars that didn't make it to the end. How critical was it to just keep that car all put in one piece and off from each other and everything else?
It was. I mean, we had really good racing up front. Everybody was racing clean. There was a little bit of contact, but everybody was really being, I don't say generous, but like forgiving to each other. First race of the year, long race. But man, I got to tell you, I've wanted to win the Milltona since I've been racing D&Q. So what a way to start the season out. Like, this is it. I'm glad. Like, I can't be happier.
12 races in the Milltona 50. You're the 11th different driver to win this race. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. I got to thank our sponsorship this year. Hayward came on board, 20 North, Leisure Garden Spas, and Regal Pool Chemicals. Obviously, that's what we do for a living. Can't thank those guys enough. That really helped to get us up there this year. Don't be spraying out here.
There we go. And there he goes, Stephen Tonjes and crew in there. It is the Net Positive Pool Services champion celebration here. For kind of tell me your thoughts, your emotions right now.
Yeah, it was definitely a long race. I mean, we all drove each other clean. Matt, Chris, Contarino. Just racing a lot on my mind with my grandmother. So, good way to start the year, though. First and foremost, thanks Shoei. Everything he's done for me over the years, my family. Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill, they come on board full time this year. Check them out here in Mooresville. It's by far the best establishment. Great food and just great people to be around. Race City Garage Doors, Hydrotech Transmissions, Patriot Distributing, Direct Repair, and all at Millbridge for hosting all the DNQ races.
Congratulations on a great start to the season, Zach.
Thanks, sir.
Zach Kompelong, mentioning his grandmother, Raylene, was such a big part of it here. Lost her in March, and so he is running with a heavy heart, running for her first race without his grandmother here, but he did her proud, that is for sure. Chris Bailey down here with a third place. You're all over the place. Just kind of describe how that 50 laps played out for you.
Yeah, I was banking. I forgot that we run the Milltona straight through 50, and I started a little high on air, and I was banking on us having an intermission break and dropping the air, but that didn't happen, and go-kart just didn't have enough bite. But, to come out with a third-place finish with no more bite than I had, I'm pretty happy with that.
As you should be. Congratulations. Good start to the season as well.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You got it, absolutely. There's Chris Bailey. He picks up the third-place run. Going to wrap up the Milltona 50 night. Zach Kompelong, a very emotional second-place run. And Matt Holtzbauer, a lot of celebrating over there in the Net Positive Pool Service team as he picks up the win. And that is going to do it for opening night of the DNQ Series. We're back here on April 13th. We're going to run the Darlington course. April 27th, we're going to run Mini Millbridge for rounds 2 and 3. Those of you here at the racetrack, we are here tomorrow night and Wednesday night as well. I'm Steve Post for Millbridge Speedway for Jeremy Nash-Burnett. Thanks for joining us here for the Milltona 50 for the DNQ Series here at Millbridge.
What a night we had here in the DNQ opening night, the Milltona 50. Matt Holtzbauer, after 10 years, knocks the rust off and gets a win.
Yeah, real popular fan favorite victories for Matt Holtzbauer, and he flat out won it. He was the fastest car tonight, got it done. Love to see him in victory lane.
Yeah, it's a bad night to be a beer because I know the fans will want to drink to this one here. I can hear those tall boys cracking in the grandstands right now. Busch Lights for everyone. This is a very, very positive win and a fan favorite here this evening.
Yeah, you look at all the guys that have won it across the years, and this is a guy that actually deserves to win it. He's put in the time. He's a big supporter of the DNQ karting series, and he did pass Engine Tech. We tore him down to nothing. So as long as his tire sample comes back, he is official. And man, it was just there. It was his night to be the winner. Want to thank all you guys for coming in and checking it out. For Jay-Z and Bill Chester, I am Bob Duato, and we will see you at the next race, the Darlington layout.
Love the Darlington layout. Extra layer of complexity and difficulty for these drivers. They're the best in the world. Come out here, get your belly on the fence, get yourself some waffles. We love it here in the DNQ Series. Crack some cold, boys, and enjoy yourself.